In principle, every company can benefit from the ideas from the outside, but I would say the biggest benefit is for companies that are in an area of rapid change.
Innovation to the big company, distribution to the small company, sometimes funding to the small company, sometimes learning from the industry. Small companies usually are younger. Well, Europe actually, some of the studies recently have shown that the bigger problem is not the investment made into starting companies. The bigger challenge for Europe is growing those startups, going from a startup to a so-called scale-up.
Well, Tieto has taken these 3 internal startups in terms of linking them to its vision. That the company tries to renew its culture, get new growth, find areas where to invest and achieve kind of a link to future markets. And it's directly tied to our longer-term strategy that way.
Startups have a lot to give to companies like us. We have been able to develop a new kind of mindset to many of our people. We have still a long way to go.
Cooperation between large corporates like Siemens and startups are important and are increasingly important. Startups are very important for Siemens because they provide us a view to the future. They provide us access to new technologies. They allow us to experiment in new markets with new technologies, with new business models. And at the same time, Siemens is a great partner for startups. We can provide help, we can provide expertise, we can provide funding. So we can be a business partner and we can also be an investor.
The key element is the people, the human aspect. It's that we have people who understand and want to understand the motivations of the other party.
Be humble, appreciate the other side, understand what your own assets are, what the other company's assets are, and that's a good starting point.
Historically, corporations haven't been very good at starting internal startups or cooperating with startups, and there's been many reasons why that's been exceedingly difficult. And one of the reasons is that quite often you end up creating these situations where the whole startup endeavor is kind of set to fail from day one. And you need to have at least a couple of key points correct, like strong support from top management, autonomy for the startup, funding that is really stable, and also sort out all of these conflicts of interest that otherwise would be an obstacle to success.
In some ways it's very simple. You have to reach out, actively search, find the startups, and then just work with them. They will teach you how to work with them if you're honest and open towards them.
Yeah, I see this cooperation between corporations and startups as becoming more important and vital in the future, because we need to somehow react to the way how the world is changing. It's getting more rapid in pace, and the change is the kind of change that startups really have the answers also how to tackle that and how to come up with something new that grows and becomes successful and becomes a future business.
Don't try to do everything, but try to build up certain ecosystems around themes that the location is strong for. For Finland, it might be the Internet of Things because it fits nicely to the communication heritage and to the competence you have very strongly here in that area. So I could imagine that this is one topic. Important is that you build it around themes and specific topics. Yeah, my first piece of advice is do it. Many large corporates are still reluctant of opening up, are still reluctant to work with young companies who have not yet completely validated their products and their business model. So do it.
Helsinki Region Chamber of Commerce brings together large companies, medium-sized and small, as well as startups. Our aim is to facilitate partnering and collaboration between these companies. If not us, then who?